Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back. The bun is back, baby. Let's go. We're back from vacation, and we have for you today a Darkbox list that was the winner of Azul's sub-tournament. Now, this was created by Bart M_A on Twitter and Jackson Paulson. So congratulations to these two for coming up with such a unique deck. Let's just walk you through it. It's Darkbox. You know it, you love it, but it has an emphasis on Alolan Persian. Now, Alolan Persian's Smug Face ability prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's tag team Pokemon. So that's like Pikachu and Zekrom. That is like, I almost said Gardevoir and Sylveon. That's like Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff. That's Mewtwo and Mew, things like that. And Ultra Beasts and your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energy attached to them. So like that just covers a lot of the format. I mean, you think about even Dragapult that plays the special energy. This card, it just shuts down a lot of the format, and it's built in a way, the list, to get this card active and going ASAP. So we have the 2-2 line of Alolan Meowth, Alolan Persian. We got everything else to support that. A couple of Silvally-GX and a couple of Weavile. But again, those are just kind of supporting actors in the play, if you will. We got the main actor as this Alolan Persian. Everything else just kind of facilitates that. A couple of tech attackers here. Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff, very useful in the Pikarom matchup. We got Mega Sableye and Tyranitar, very useful in the Pikarom matchup. Can take out 3 prizes on Dedennes and things like that. We got our Umbreon and Darkrai with a Dark Moon GX GX attack, very strong, and the Dark Lance, which can set up KOs in the future. We got 1 Dedenne just for that support, 1 Hoopa, and 1 Darkrai Prism to just facilitate your energy attachments. So that is all of the Pokemon. We move on to the trainers. Got a lot of just kind of cuts that I think were made in the trainer section that, you know, were needed because we're trying to fit in 3 stage 1s up here. And since we have the built-in ability here, draw ability of disc reload, we don't need as many supporters, but we still have a host of them. So Marnie, red and blue to get out our evolutions, and then Mallow and Lana, Cynthia and Caitlin, and 1 of Boss's Orders, which makes it work because we have the 3 Cynthia and Caitlin. So 4 comms, 4 quick balls, some switches, some dark energy. It's all there. This deck rocks, and you'll see in the next 2 games that games are close, but they're a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this deck, and let's go to the gameplay. Maybe even the Mega Sableye Tyranitar. That might just be an objectively better GX attack because they're going to go through their deck pretty quickly. So we want to get down a Sneasel. We potentially want to get down the Alolan Persian, obviously with the ability. Going to be really strong. I'm not sure exactly how they get around that here either. But first we'll go for the Sneasel. And then we will go for the Meowth. And then we will go for the Marnie. So if we're able, again, to get up this Alolan Persian, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's tag team and Ultra Beast. So like, really strong. We missed a dark energy. So like, we could get blown out of the water here if we can't find what we need. If he can somehow get like a Gust or maybe get a Cramorant and take out this Alolan Meowth, we might be in for a hard time. But we'll see what my opponent has and see what they have to go for. So there's the couple of fires. But yeah, great time, guys. Great time. Nashville is a fun city. It was really concerning. We went down Broad Street. Okay, so no Cramorant here coming up for us. We went down Broad Street or Broadway. That's anyway where they have like all the lights and all the honky tonks and stuff like that. No one was wearing masks, bro. There's like 1,000 people, probably more, like less than 10 masks. So they are clearly not caring about what's going on. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for that. But we think we're okay. We're obviously going to quarantine for a couple weeks here after coming back. We drove down Broadway. Don't get mistaken. We didn't like walk down the crowds of like 1,000 people. Don't mistake that. We definitely drove there. But it was concerning to say the least. So we see an Oranguru and the Jirachi. I think what they might try to do is go for the like 3 prizes, right? Because if they can knock out the Hoopa and then knock out the Weavile and do the combo both times, they can take all 6 prizes. So we need to make sure that we don't evolve into the Weavile if we don't need it. Now, they would have to play a Gust. We don't know if they play a Gust or not. Yo, they use their entire hand. That's kind of gas. We don't know if they have a Gust or not, but we just need to make sure that we are cognizant of the fact that they are going down to 3 prizes. So we'll promote the Meowth, and we just go into the Alolan Persian. It's going to be pretty hard for them to recover from this unless they have some other kind of auxiliary attacker. Again, like Cramorant could do some serious work. Go there. And we will pass. It's going to take us some time to like build this up, but we get to bide our time again with the Smug face ability. The important clause there is the Ultra Beast. Very cool card that shuts down a lot of decks. What else do we do? Fried chicken taste test. We loved Hattie B's. That is where we would go. I would say that their fries are unmatched. I don't think I've had a French fry as good as the Hattie B's French fries. Now, what makes the Hattie B's French fries so special? Let me break it down for you there, because there's 2 pieces to the combination, right? So you got the crisp on the outside, which is not like it's not like a burnt crisp. It's like it like melts, but it's crispy. It's crispy, but it melts. I don't quite know how to describe that kind of crispiness, but it's not like a burnt, like hard. It has a give to it, but it's still crisp. I really don't know how they do it, and I don't quite know how to describe it because I've only ever had this kind of potato fried this way there. And then we also had, and the other part to this is that it's like a very smooth interior, right? So it has this crispy shell on the outside and then this very smooth, almost buttery texture on the inside. And I think that makes just for an awesome French fry. Like, you really can't get better. So Hattie B's, hats off to you for having just like the most amazing French fries in the world, but also having like some of the most tender chicken that we've ever had from a fried chicken place, and some good heat. My wife doesn't really like the hot chicken stuff, and so I ended up getting 1 wing to the side that was just hot chicken. And I thought that the spice level, it was maybe 1 up from a mild, but it was like very flavorful. So a really all around Hattie B's, and that's like the chain. So, you know, you have a lot of Nashvillians that might be upset if I say Hattie B's is my favorite, but it was really a strong choice. So would recommend anyone that goes to Nashville again. I remember we got it in 2018 when Worlds was there, and I remember liking it then, but then that was a couple years ago. Can't quite, remember everything, and I like it again. So we see an Acrobike. Again, I think they're probably going to try to set up like a Cramorant. We might be able to deck them with the Sableye Tyranitar, because they're getting pretty low. I mean, it's going to take us a lot of time to build up those energies, and it would require us to have all of our energies available to us. But that is like an option. We're getting in that, again, like 16 cards, like it's in that danger zone right there. So not a very realistic, like we're probably going to win this game off the back of Persian, but there is that out that we have. So we see Mr. Mime come up. Again, I think they're looking for the 3 prize turn again on the Weavile or something like that, but maybe they should start powering up an Oranguru. That would probably be the way that I would go about getting into the Persian, because you attack once with the Oranguru and then you attack once with the Cramorant and you knock it out. So we'll see what they opt to go for. There's that. Again, do not want to evolve, and I really don't even want to play down another Pokemon. So we'll just go ahead and Marnie again. Now, still looking for energy. Literally the only thing we want is energy. Don't end up finding it. We could retreat there, but we won't. What else did we do? Trying to think. Went to the wedding. Wedding was very nice. No one was wearing masks. Big sad. Except our group, like our table, like our friends, all the young kids. It seemed the people that were the least at risk of the virus, like, were wearing masks. So no, that's not a statement That's not a political statement of any kind. That's not a cultural statement of any kind. I just putting that information into the wild there. But very fun wedding overall. Had some nachos. I've never had nachos as the wedding food of choice. So they had like pork. Oh, it was like a barbecue nacho thing. So they had pork and brisket and chicken, and then barbecue sauce and queso and cheese and, you know, all the toppings that you would put on nachos. Super good, super cool idea. I'm not a huge like finger food thing, but I understand because we also kind of had finger food, although it was sandwiches, so it like wasn't as maybe sloppy as the barbecue stuff. But you can, that's the thing with nachos, like you can't really eat nachos daintily. Yo, we're about to see a Paris stream. Poggers. Oh, that's one way to go about it. We're about to see a Paris stream. That's pretty fun. But yeah, you could eat nachos daintily. It's very difficult to do. It's very, very difficult to do. So on our next turn, we are looking for like quite literally just a dark energy. Whatever we draw, I'm just gonna, you know, try to thin the deck as much as I can. I mean, with this hand, we don't really have much opportunity to do that, but I really just want to thin the deck as much as I can to try to get that dark energy, have that response for the draw. You got the switch. Darkrai doesn't do much, but we'll keep it in hand because it could be something else. So we'll put a supporter from our discard. You know, it could be like a Dedenne if we want to go down that route. Take the Marnie back and get the dark energy. No. We could also set up another Alolan Persian. Could be kind of cool. So we could set up 2 Alolan Persians. I think I will go for that if we do have it in the deck. Let's go there on the Pokecom. And yeah, there's our second Meowth. We could go for like a Dedenne, but not super stoked on that. Doesn't seem like... With the 2 switches in hand, I'd rather not discard those if we don't have to. So let's go there, and we'll pass. Unfortunately, didn't get that dark energy, but we're playing the long game here. We're playing the long game. Despite them already being at 3 prizes, we're playing the long game, fellas. The war of attrition. See another Stellar Wish. They get a switch. Probably going to switch into this Jirachi. And go with that. All right. We are going to look for the knockout here on the Jirachi. And they are going to Paris Stream and hope that we don't have switches, that we can't bring this to the bench. Obviously, that effect will reset as soon as we go to the bench. So we get a 3rd switch. Insane. Let's see. I think we want to see just more cards, but I don't want to get rid of the switch necessarily. So let's... Oh, geez. Is it worth it to try to draw 3 into the energy? Let's go ahead here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll go there, and we'll take the Marnie back. I just don't want to put the switches at the bottom of the deck. And yeah, we ended up missing it, which is really a shame, but we get to just go there and pass. So... They stay asleep. Nothing really happens. They're going to have to Perish Song again into this Persian. And then by that time, we could like red and blue. I needed to check if we had a second Weavile. That's what I'm worried about. So I think we'll have the Marnie here. Because if we don't have another Weavile, then we won't get to use the effect to put energy. Right? Because if we don't evolve, then we can't do that. So I think we'll have the Marnie here. I can't quite remember if we have what we need in the deck. Again, I don't want to evolve the Weavile. That gives him the out. Well, if we evolve the Weavile and then knock out the Jirachi, then he has no way to take the 3 prizes. So let's go there. We're going to say we're going to hit it. Let's go switch, and then we'll Marnie. Yo, we don't get the energy? Are you kidding me? At this point, we've laid down the Weavile, so we need to go for a Dedenne here. So let's thin the deck and go for that. Take this out. We'll take, like, these just don't matter at all. Take those out. It's sad that we have to get rid of the boss's orders. Would love to keep that. Let's go here with the Sneasel and just ditch that as well. And then, yeah, Dedenne it up. That is such a shame. We do get the energy, though. We do get the energy though. Now he pair-songed on this one, so the effect reset, and we just get to go ahead and Claw Slash. Now doing that again, hurting. We're hurting because we put the Dedenne down. That just not really much we could do about that. I think we needed the knockout, especially since we evolved into the Weavile. We know that they have Cramorant left in their deck, so we need to start taking prizes. But this obviously opens him up to Cramorant once, Cramorant twice, or if he has a boss's orders, then he can Gust Up and then Cramorant once. Like he could Gust Up the Weavile and then Cramorant the Dedenne. So we're definitely leaving him with outs, right? We're definitely leaving him with outs, but a lot of resources gone from him. Oricoreo's in the discard, a couple of Fire Crystals, a couple of Fiery Flints, just a lot of fire. We'll see if he has maybe a Victini Prism would be a good card for him to lay, and I almost feel like the way he's been playing his cards, he maybe has one in the back pocket. So we'll see what he opts to go for here. Again, the Oranguru is going to be a good card for him if he can get it powered up, maybe do some more damage, and then come in with, again, like a Cramorant. You want to try to two-shot the active. So there's the Welder. We should see this Oranguru come up. And if the Oranguru comes up and does hit into our Persian, then we will switch into this Persian and move all the energy with our Weavile and attack with this one. Again, we want to keep our Persians out of that two-shot range if we can avoid it. He could also potentially confuse us. No, he couldn't. He couldn't. I was thinking that there might be a confusion play in his future, but not with Blacephalon GX at least. So we see the Oranguru come down to the active, and a Whap Down is in our future. There it is. Okay. So let's go here. Let's go here. Play the energy. Nothing that we really need to attach or do. We could play the Marnie. Maybe try to dig for the card that might be really nice for us is the Mallow and Lana. So I kind of do want to see that in our hand at some point. We'll go ahead and quick ball away that, and there is the Mallow and Lana still in the deck. So let's try to fish that out. We'll take a card that we don't need to the hand, and then put it back under with the Marnie. Get a pretty reasonable hand, as you would expect for this point in the game. We could go ahead and snipe something on the bench, but I think a Claw Slash, the active attacker, that the only thing that can do damage to us, is probably the way to go. So we'll go there. The other thing he could be setting up for here also is the snipe attack onto the Persian and then snipe again onto the Dedenne. Since we can't one-shot his Cramorant without using something like Mega Sableye Tyranitar, he actually does leave that option open to getting into, you know, again, knockout here and then knockout here. So I think what I wanted to do here is move this energy off of the Persian. That was my maybe fatal flaw, because now we can't one-shot this Cramorant because we don't have a... Well, we could go dig for the... We could go dig for the Darkrai. That would be our way to one-shot the Cramorant. But we have no way to switch this. So now we're in a... Yeah, we're in a little bit of a danger zone. Because he's going to go here, knock out the Persian. There's the escape board on the active, and he might just have it. He might just have just enough. I don't even know if having this energy would save us. We're still in a pretty rough position again. Since we had to drop the Dedenne, we give him that out to the Cramorant. And I felt like we needed to do that. So we go ahead and see the Spit Shot. Let's just count how much he has left. We got 3 Welders in the discard. 3 Welders in the discard. 4 Welders in the discard, ladies and gentlemen. 4 Welders in the discard. Okay. So if we want to try to win this game, I think we go Mega Sableye Tyranitar. Because that's the only thing that can one-shot. So like he could just have Welder plus the energy required and then just go on the Dedenne. This way he would need just a ton of energy. So let's go there. Let's quick ball away this and look for the Darkrai. And we need to hit a switch. We do need to hit a switch. And we'll attach for turn. And we'll go here with the Marnie. We do hit an air balloon, so that will do it for us. Go ahead and air balloon that. We'll retreat. Go into this. Shadow Connection, all the energy up to the active. And we will be taking a knockout. Not the way we would really enjoy doing it. Like, as much as we can, we'd like to have the Persian active. But this will do just fine. He could have the win. It would need like Mewtwo or like Palpad. It would need, you know, a couple of fire crystals, but we're forcing as much action as we can here. So there's a Greedy Crush for the KO. But yeah, other things that we did in Nashville, we walked down Music Row. That's a big thing to some people, seeing Music Row and like where all this country music comes out. And it's really cool. It's just this big, long... Yo, he had the Blacephalon gas, bro. They always have it. So there's the burst for the last prize. Ooh. Yoinks. Definitely played very, very well by my opponent. So we'll play one more game here with this deck. Very, very fun. Didn't put enough early pressure, which I think was the problem in that game. We weren't able to like consistently knock out our opponent's Pokemon. And then just trying to think back there, maybe things that we could have done differently. I'll have to go back and review the tape. Playing against Stan. Stan S. Nilsson. Yo, we could totally spoil the fun. Yo, we could sneaky smash or spoil the fun. Yeah, we'll play it by ear. Let's see. We'll put the Alolan Meowth. That might force him into some weird plays. So let's go ahead with the Meowth, and then obviously the Sneasel works on the bench as well. So if we're playing something like a Mewtwo deck, right, and they just attach to the bench on their first turn, we can go ahead and go ahead and ping that off. So Spoil the Fun is going to do not enough to knock out this Cryogonal, so it's looking even more likely that this Sneasel is going to come into play. We'll see what we can do, though, because we don't really have that much else. That's a good card. That is a really good card. So we can go here with the Calm, put back the Meowth, and go get ourselves something to draw some cards, aka the Type Null. I'm going to grab the Type Null so we can go in with the Silvally and just keep drawing cards, because I think the biggest thing for us is just going to be to get energy down and to get a Weavile in play. So I'll go there. Meowth, and then Spoil the Fun. It's not going to do enough, obviously, but we could potentially just like Spoil the Fun a couple more times and knock out the Cryogonal. So we see a tag call from my opponent. Looking like, you know, some kind of mill deck, so I wouldn't be surprised if we at some point see a Belelba and Bryson Man come down. But the Guzma Hala makes me think that he doesn't have an energy. Yeah, we do see the Guzma Hala come out. Makes me think that he doesn't have an energy. I wonder what kind of stadium he'll grab. You got to think that it's a turf field. I imagine that this is the Dustox Stall deck. But the Lily's Pokédoll kind of throw me off because I haven't seen those in any of the lists. So we'll see what he grabs. This will be very telling, especially on the stadium side of things, what he's playing. And it's good with a matchup like this that you see, you know, you don't know what's going to come at you. Just trying to use all this little information to try to predict what your opponent's going to do. In that way, you can, you know, respond a little bit better. So we don't even see a turf field. We see a power plant. That is going to be really good for him because our only way to draw cards at this point is the Silvally. So we are going to need to find a Chaotic Swell and find it soon. Let's see if he does drop the power plant. I don't see why he wouldn't. And this is going to leave us in a very precarious spot. He's going to be able to draw a lot of cards with the Zacian. There is the power plant completely foiling our plants, making us wish that we had gone here with the Dedenne instead of the Type Null. But again, you don't really know what you're playing against. I thought it was going to be the Dustox thing. It wasn't. So let's red and blue. And we will go for... We could go for a Persian. And just go boom, boom, boom. Could go for a Silvally. And just hit 50 damage over and over. I'm trying to think. Like, I guess the Silvally is probably best. And then we switch into Silvally and just go attack, 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 attack. And then that gives us more outs, because that makes Chaotic Swell an out to draw more cards. We give up the switch, obviously, but I think this might be the way to go. So let's go there. We'll attach our energy, and then we'll go in with the switch. We could also retreat, but I do kind of want to save that energy if we can. Let's try to mow down his Pokédolls by just doing a consistent 50 damage. We're going to take a knockout on the Cryogonal. We're going to look for, you know, a prize, look for the top decks. Again, Chaotic Swell, very, very good top deck for us. Something like Cynthia and Caitlin is okay, but we have to wait a turn. So we will also want to make sure that on our next top deck, if we don't need to play it, then we shouldn't, right? If we don't need to play it, then we shouldn't. We maybe get punished by this Rosa. I don't know what's going to happen, bro. That's the fun of the ladder right now, is because people are trying out all these wacky things. So we got Rosa coming down. Meowth and the hammer, bro. What the heck, dude? What is gonna happen to me, bro? We see another Pokédoll. He's about to item lock. That's really nice to see. You love to see it. See the crushing hammer. Tails, baby, tails. Let's go. As much as we can mow down the Pokédolls, the better. I mean, obviously, he's going to try to crush away our energy, so we can't attack into the Cryogonal. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep this energy in hand. Because we also want to keep an energy. We want to keep one card in hand in case we draw into a Cynthia and Caitlin. Now our Cynthia and Caitlin is live. If we were to attach this energy, a number of things could happen. He could like gust up a Sneasel without fear of it getting, you know, knocked out, or excuse me, without fear of it being able to retreat. He could, yeah, I don't. That's the one play that comes to my mind as well. Like, keeping the energy might give us a way. Like if he gusts up the Sneasel, we could just retreat it into the Silvally or something like that. You know, just another little play that you look at, and then keeping this live. Okay, so there's. No sooner did I speak it that it came into existence. We do see the gust onto the Sneasel and 10 damage. Now we have to decide whether or not we want to just attack into the Cryogonal or retreat into the Silvally, and I think we want to retreat. So let's go with the energy, and then well, if we flip heads, that would just be a more economical use of our energy. He's already at 70 damage. But I do value the one shot, the guaranteed prize. I do value that. So let's go ahead and Brave Buddies, take the knockout, and force him to have another gust. Do get another energy. That's fine. I feel very strong about that. I'm happy. But we are looking... Oh, this game would be so much easier without that stinking power plant down. Another tag call comes down. And again, I'm waiting to see the Balelba and Bryson Man, but we see a Malon, Lana, and a Cynthia and Caitlin. Definitely not what you expect when you're playing against a deck like this. Just trying to figure out what is going on. I think we should start seeing like an Articuno come in at some point. The power plant is really disruptive, and without us being able to draw into energy, we're forced to top deck and find it off the prizes. And so if he can come in with the Articuno, get rid of our energy, he might find himself in a position that we just continue to dead draw. Although our deck is pretty gassed, we can find one of our two stadiums, we can find a Marnie perfect card. Perfect card to draw. So let's go to the bench. Let's go ahead and Marnie here. Still no stadium. Still no stadium. Okay. Now I don't think I want to evolve into the Weavile. We could. I guess, yeah, there's no... It has a worse attack is my thought, right? Because we could ambush, and that does, you know, potentially 30 damage on a flip. That seems a little bit better than not being able to move our energy, right? They both have the same retreat. So For now, I'm going to keep it as is. We're going to just go ahead with the Brave Buddies and then Marnie again next turn and hope we can take it from there. Gragonal's looking real mean right here. Looking real mean. We missed our big opportunity. That was a chance that we had to kind of get out of the item lock. Like, we could have played items, right? We could have played items. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do that. He does take the energy off of the Meowth, which I do like, because to evolve this Meowth, he has the Absol down. To evolve the Meowth would mean that we would have to go into a 2 energy retreat cost Pokemon in the Alolan Persian. So taking it off the Meowth as opposed to the Sneasel, when the Sneasel evolves into Weavile, it just has the 1 retreat. So it's not as much of a threat. The Alolan Persian / Meowth with the Absol both effectively have the same retreat cost. So taking it off there makes more sense. See you, Cynthia and Caitlin, for bosses owners. Yeah, and they're going to win by some kind of deck out. I just don't know how that's going to happen. He must have like an Oranguru in deck. There's a Giraffe Rig. Okay, interesting choice. We'll see what he goes into. Giraffe Rig it is. And will we see? Yeah, there is the capture energy coming down. And I'm guessing boss's orders and a dark energy would be my guess. Or a Marnie and a boss's orders. 2 dark energy. Fine. So let's go ahead and attach there. At this point, since we are going to Marnie, I will evolve. And then go ahead and Marnie. Still no juice. Still no juice. All right, we will go there with the air balloon. And Brave Buddy for the KO. Now, it's getting to that point against this stall deck that you kind of wonder how you're going to take your last few prizes. I maybe wanted to quick ball just to use them so that his make him pay Persian doesn't do much. But that is just the risk that I took, maybe arguably unnecessarily. We do see a Rosa come back to hand, so that might be a factor in getting out some more things from the deck. I'm trying to keep this interesting. I mean, I think this is fascinating. This is a very interesting matchup, in my opinion. I haven't seen a stall deck like this in a long time. So our turn, we do get another energy. I think I will commit it to the bench, and then we will also go here and just discard something. Still looking through the deck, trying to make sure we know what resources we have. Not too many supporters left. But we could potentially go ahead here with the Mega Sableye Tyranitar. We're looking for stadiums. Honestly, we're looking for stadiums, and I'm gonna keep as many cards in the deck as I can. I don't think I necessarily need to drag anything out here. So let's just go there. Let's Brave Buddies. And be good. Call it good. We'll call it square. Now, we could have kept this in hand. I maybe wanted to, yeah, not commit the air balloon there, because what he could do, again, is the Articuno up on the Silvally. So I think I regret that. I was playing it to like try to get it out of the hand for the make him pay, but then we could have just quick balled and been under 4 anyway. So I should have just kept that in hand, especially since this Meowth has an energy attached to it. But just keep that in hand and chill a little bit more than I did. So we're looking for stadium. Again, if we can find one stadium, we're in a really good spot, because the Chaotic Swell would mean that not only do we bump the power plant, but we would be able to, you know, potentially bump a plant in the future. So we do see the Persian come down. Let's see what he does. Goes for the Crushing Hammer. Yeah, and this would be where we would want to pivot, but there's not really a good pivot. Like, he's going to probably take the energy off the active. Again, not really a good pivot, because we don't have the energy or the stadium to try to get into something else. So see what he opts to go for. There's a Tate and Liza switching. Okay. Okay. We're gonna keep this energy in hand. Again, that's gonna be useful if he tries to drag something else up, but we'll keep everything else in hand as is, and we'll Brave Buddies. I'm waiting, man. I can't wait to see what happens. This is so tense. It's so exciting on my end. 10 cards left in deck. He's got to have some like big wombo combo. We see a Faba for that energy. He's going to go ahead and try to gust this up, I think. And yeah, our main folly of playing this in the opening turn might come back to haunt us here. We see a quick ball in our hand. I'm going to keep the quick balls. I'm going to keep the quick balls. We'll get rid of the Hoopa. Yeah, and we are just looking for just about anything to do anything. I feel like if we could draw cards, we would be in a really good spot, but we're down energy, we're down switches, we are down, you know, really anything useful. So opponent's doing a very, very good job. If we could find a stadium, that's the thing that we most want. We see a Brave Buddy, and that's all we can do. Now, he is in danger. If we can find a stadium, if we can find a supporter next turn, we can do 120 and knock this out. So I think he's going to have to retreat. Well, we'll see what he goes into. We do see a Crushing Hammer off the active. Okay. And a Grunt to... So we need that stadium, and we need it like yesterday. Because we want to be able to move off the Weavile. There is the Cynthia Caitlin. I love that. I really do love that. I think we have to discard the Quick Ball. We'll take a Marnie. We could take a boss. If we take a boss's orders, then we can knock out the Eldegoss potentially. But the Marnie is a more sustainable supporter, I think. We do get the Vitality Band down. Still no stadium. Let's see. We're gonna... we can't take anything unless we want to play down the Darkrai. Let's see. We got how many energy in the discard? Just the one. Okay. So I'm trying to think what we want to do with our next turn. I think Marnie makes the most sense. Again, to try to get into the stadiums. But I don't want him to make us pay. Right? That's what I'm trying to avoid here. So I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, kind of meander around that. We'll take nothing. We'll make him think maybe we don't have anything. Obviously, we have the Marnie in our hand. So let's just go there and we'll pass for now. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We could have Darkrai'd the energy onto the bench, but again, since we're missing that stadium, we can't move any of the damage or move any of the energy up to use our attack. So I think we're in a good spot. It's just that we're drawing kind of the worst cards possible at this point in time. There is the Lusamine. Does he have a way? We take a knockout here, so we should definitely do that. Let's go here. Let's tag call. And I'm actually going to use the Cynthia Caitlin. And we'll take the Mega Lopunny just to discard it. I do want to find that stadium. Let's go there. Let's take the boss's orders. We could potentially take a KO on the Eldegoss to finish it out. This is a horrible hand. This is a truly scary hand. Yeah, I hate this. I actually do hate this. So we'll play that down. We will... Yeah, because I want to play... There are 3 cards in hand that I want to play, and we're going to get some more cards. He's going to be able to punish us. He's going to be able to punish us with the Persian. But will it be enough? Will it be enough? Because we have to. I think we take the KO here. He's going to be able to punish us with the Persian. But we get out... Okay, we're drawing decently off the prize. We get another live out here. Yeah, and he's going to come up here with the make him pay, but there wasn't really a way to get around that. Playing the Darkrai means that we do get to keep like one other card that we could potentially use, but I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can discard half our hand. So things that are pretty obvious to discard are like the Marnies, I would say maybe like all the supporters would be really good things. The switch is a really good thing to discard. Like what I could see him doing is gusting up the Darkrai and then discarding our switch, Mallow and Lana, and the 2 Marnies, and force us to just not find anything. Yeah, so we see the boss's orders onto the Darkrai. We're going to see him make him pay, switch Mallow and Lana and the 2 Marnies, I would guess. And if we don't draw into a stadium, that could just about do it. We need to find that stadium. We need to find that quick. I've been saying it from the beginning of the game. We need to find that stadium. So see if we can do that. It's been a really intense game. I hope you guys are enjoying this matchup. Hope you've been enjoying this channel. We're trying to do a little bit more regular content, and it's been quite a ride. We don't see him get rid of the Marnie. I think that's a confusing choice. Okay. That's fine with me. Go for the Marnie. We hit what we wanted to hit. There's the Chaotic Swell. There is the Air Balloon. And here... Oh, we're still a basic. Oh, yeah, we're still a basic. So we get bodied here by the Absol. Okay, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's go here, put a Pokemon back in. And maybe we get out like a Dedenne. Do we have another switch? We don't. So the only way we can switch here is with the Cynthia and Caitlin into the Mallow and Lana. So let's take a Dedenne. And we will draw some cards. We might end up just retreating hard, like hard retreating. Because we can go ahead and Weavile up to that. Yeah, yikes. Disc reloaded up. So there's that. Yikes, dude. Okay. Nobody move. Nobody move. We're chilling. We have 1 energy left. That's so scary. All right. So we go Shadow Connection. We could take a knockout with the active. But I'm worried that... So if we take a knockout with the active, he could come in with like an Articuno and just body all of our energy. And then we only have the 1 energy to knock out the Articuno. And then we leave this active. So I'm kind of thinking that we don't. And that we retreat. He could still come in and body us with Articuno, but then we have enough energy to get into the Silvally again. So let's go ahead and Brave Buddies. That's going to take a knockout on the Persian. We might end up getting punished for this, but we'll see. We will see. So he needs to have Articuno. He needs to have the energy. Otherwise, we can take a knockout on anything on his board. As long as we can play a supporter this next turn, which we potentially can with the tag call. So we'll see what he has. Promotes the Eldegoss. Bosses orders up the Darkrai. Oh, and that just might be it, guys. Because we don't have a switch left. So we'll need to Cynthia and Caitlin into the Mallow and Lana to win the game. That is our out. If he has a way to somehow discard the Mallow and Lana from our hand, then we will lose. Otherwise, I mean, we can do it. We can do it. Stay tuned. So we see a resource management. I'm gonna be very curious to see what he gets back. We have Pokédoll, Power Plant, and Cynthia and Caitlin. Now the other thing that we could do is just get into the last energy. If we top deck the energy, then we just go for the Dedenne. Let's go ahead and tag call and see what we have available to us. There's the Cynthia and Caitlin, and there's the red and blue. We could just, like, if we hit the energy, we win. So it might be a case of just doing that, right? Because we can move 2 energy to the active, and we can attach to the last one to disc reload. So with all that information available to us, I think we will just go ahead and let's see how many cards are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could theoretically miss it. I'm going to keep the Cynthia and Caitlin in the deck. Let's go there. Let's go here. And then let's draw. Yo, it was on the bottom. The energy is on the bottom. So with 4 cards left in the deck, then we just Marnie, and we should just win the game here. So there's a Marnie. We'll get the Dark Energy off the top. There it is. Get to attach that. Get to do the Shadow connection. And we get to retreat. A very tight game, but ultimately one that we were able to take down against this very bizarre stall deck. So there it is. Last prize for the game. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was super fun. If you've liked this content and this YouTube exclusive content, please leave me a comment down below. Tell me what game was your favorite. We had a couple of very close games there. So let me know how you like this deck. This is a very, very interesting deck, and does it have the potential to win big? We've already seen it win the Azul sub tournament. So is this something that we should consider in the future? Let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.